coalition governments have been the norm for the most successful period of Indian history in the sense of economic growth. The last 10 years were an aberration or a shift. And I feel that even though the promise and the rhetoric and the excitement, particularly in the business community, but others, was very high, the actual delivery of reforms was not that different from what we saw in the coalition era. What you did see was hectic marketing and image building, and many promises. But the actual delivery was a gradualist model. We had huge announcements on privatization. We saw the reality. We had huge announcements on, moving towards, and to some extent it was delivered, an investment-led model, and consumption has lagged. But you had the old politics continued of welfareism. So I feel that in the big picture, not only is this not going to have a huge impact on India as a country, as a nation in the world, it is actually going to be better, in my opinion, in the sense that with concentration of power, we saw erratic decision making, we saw demonetization, we saw GST being rammed through, we saw 4-hour lockdown. I don't think these things will happen in a real functioning coalition. So in the sense of, to use a rough analogy, I think it'll be a less volatile policy making. It'll be a smoother policy making environment. And this is going to be very healthy for the country. As far as India's place in the world, I'm very clear, and I think most people would agree that while Mr. Modi did bring some energy and he brought personalization to diplomacy, his position is a result of India's standing. He did not give India this standing. This is the result of, decades of work, economic growth, India's expansion. And as someone in the opposition space, I feel he exploited this for his personal benefit. And to some extent, it worked. A lot of people did think that unhone desh ka naam roshan kar diya hai, and you hear this. The fact is that India as a country goes beyond individual leaders. And I think that will continue as long as India's economy continues to grow and India remains a viable, a positive ideological force in the world. I don't see any huge changes.